Hey, welcome back. You know that feeling when you're halfway through a book and you just have to put it down, look around the room, and ask, what on earth am I even reading? For me, that book was Moby-Dick. I picked it up one rainy New York weekend, thinking I was in for a classic sea adventure. What I got was, well, a 3-page meditation on the color white, a detailed taxonomy of whale species, and a sermon delivered by a pirate-looking harpooner. I was baffled, and yet, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is The Great Conversation. Today, we're tackling a question that's divided readers for over a century. Is Herman Melville's Moby-Dick the undisputed great American novel, or is it a magnificent, bizarre failure? To understand this book, we have to start with its reception. When it was published in 1851, it was a flop, a critical and commercial disaster. Readers who loved Melville's earlier South Seas adventures like Typee were utterly confused. They wanted a ripping yarn about a one-legged captain hunting a whale, not chapters titled The Whiteness of the Whale, or a Shakespearean soliloquy from a first mate staring into a fire. The book was dismissed, forgotten, and Melville died thinking he'd created a monster that nobody understood. It was only in the 1920s, the so-called Melville Revival, that critics dug it up and declared it a masterpiece. But that whiplash, from failure to masterpiece, is at the very heart of our question. So let's look at the case for it being the great American novel. Proponents say it's the book that captures the American spirit in the 19th century. It's a book of staggering ambition, of cosmic scale, just like the young country itself. The Pequod is a microcosm of America, a ship of many races and cultures, from the Native American Tashtego, to the African Dagu, to the Pacific Islander Queequeg, all working a dangerous, industrial job under the command of a monomaniacal, philosophical American captain. It's about obsession, about the frontier, about chasing an impossible dream, themes that feel deeply woven into the American psyche. And Ishmael, our narrator, is the ultimate American voice, skeptical, curious, democratic, trying to make sense of the vastness he's a part of. The book tries to contain everything: science, history, philosophy, comedy, tragedy, manual labor, and epic poetry. In its sheer, uncontainable ambition, it mirrors America's own messy, sprawling attempt to be everything. But then, there's the case for the bizarre failure. And it's a strong one. Because for all its thematic grandeur, Moby-Dick is, on a narrative level, kind of a mess. It constantly sabotages its own plot. Just as the chase heats up, Melville stops everything for 40 pages to give us a textbook on cetology. He digresses on the legality of whale ownership, the art of rope coiling, the symbolic meaning of every piece of equipment on deck. The tone veers wildly from Shakespearean tragedy to lowbrow comedy to scientific dissertation. For a reader simply looking for a story, it's infuriating. You could argue that Melville wasn't just writing a novel. He was trying to write the encyclopedia of the whale, and in doing so, he broke the novel form. He created something that is, by conventional standards, deeply flawed, uneven, bloated, and structurally chaotic. A beautiful disaster. Here's where I had my personal revelation, walking through the canyons of Manhattan after finishing it. I think the debate itself is the point. Moby-Dick forces us to ask, what is a novel for? Is it just to tell a compelling story with a clean plot? Or can it be a vessel for everything the author knows and feels about the world? Melville chose the latter. The digressions aren't mistakes, they're the whole endeavor. The whaling chapters are there to make you understand, viscerally, the weight of the rope, the smell of the blubber, the sheer work of this world. It grounds the philosophical madness in gritty reality. The chapter on the whiteness of the whale isn't a pointless aside. It's Ishmael's mind trying, and failing, to pin down the terrifying, empty ambiguity that the white whale represents. The form is the content. The book's chaotic, all-consuming structure is Ahab's monomania. We are not just reading about the hunt. The book itself is hunting meaning, relentlessly, across every page. So, is it the great American novel or a bizarre failure? My take, from my perspective as an engineer and a storyteller, is that it is both, and that's precisely what makes it great. A perfect, sleek machine of a book it is not. It's a sprawling, over-engineered, glorious contraption, leaking ideas, bursting with passion, held together by sheer will and philosophical rivets. It fails by the ordinary rules, but it succeeds by creating its own. It's the most American novel because it is audacious, heterogeneous, and endlessly ambitious. It contains multitudes, just like Whitman's poetry, but it also contains manuals and lists and bad jokes. It is the whole, weird, striving package. In the end, Moby-Dick isn't a book you simply read. It's a book you experience, you wrestle with, you get lost in. It's a conversation, a great, chaotic, brilliant conversation between the author and the deep, between story and fact, between madness and meaning. And maybe that's the best thing a book can be. Thank you for joining me for this part of the great conversation. If this exploration resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd share the show with a friend who loves a good debate about books. For more episodes like this, make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcasts. This is Ibnul J. Farabi from Light Not Studios. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and keep conversing. You can find more of our work at lightnotstudios.com. Take care.